I watched it on TV.
All things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
Zionists, they don't deserve to live comfortably, let alone Zionists don't deserve to live.
Kamani James, a spokesperson for the student protest at Columbia University, said this more than once in a personal social media post in January.
The same way we're very comfortable accepting that Nazis don't deserve to live, fascists don't deserve to live, racists don't deserve to live, Zionists, they shouldn't live in this world.
It goes on. It goes on. But, you know, what's really interesting to me is the uber left is denying that people who are organizing protests are espousing this kind of judgment that this person shouldn't live and that person should, and this one shouldn't and that one shouldn't. And the one that over there, the Zionists, instead of just saying why you believe Zionism isn't compatible with religion. It's really easy, okay? Really easy. Zionism is uber nationalism, just like white Christian nationalism is not a religion, it's nationalism. That's what Zionism is, okay? But he doesn't understand that, and most of these kids don't, and the ultra left that is really, really so into these protests. They've been into every protest. And you know what's really weird about being into every protest and doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result is that is the definition of insanity. And when you see that the protest thing doesn't work, that it pisses people off, and that people want to walk away from whatever it is you're trying to make happen, that protests actually hurt the cause and do not help the cause. And we know that because, you know, I keep on going back to 1968 to the point where finally, you know, I hate being ahead of the news, but I usually am. And so we were talking about 1968, 2 weeks ago? Now all of a sudden everybody's like, yeah, this could be, you know, 1968 at the convention. It could be that again. Damn right it could be that again. And why would it be that again? It shouldn't be that again because, you know, Hubert Humphrey did not win, and he was the Democratic nominee. He did not win. He lost to Richard Nixon, another criminal fraud who literally prolonged the Vietnam War for another 7 years. You would think people would learn from that. You would think they would know that that doesn't work. That what happens is when you go to a party's convention and you create chaos, it makes the party seem weak and people vote the other way. And you know, Hubert Humphrey and Richard Nixon, do you know how much difference there was in the vote total? Do you know? It was less than a point, less than 1 point. That made the difference.
This Kamani James, I'm not sure what his ultimate goal is. Is it to put enough rift in the Democratic Party to get Trump elected? Because Trump, I assure this person, does not represent him. The only thing they have in common is the uber violence that they are advocating for. I'm just not sure what his ultimate goal would be.
Well, you know, when you have peaceniks, when you have people that actually do not study what works in ending wars and what doesn't work in ending wars, when you have people that actually study what a protest at a partisan convention does to the party, and that it causes the opposite party to prevail, and the opposite party is a law and order party that would bash your heads in without a thought. When you don't think it through, you end up putting that crap on the internet that lives forever. They're not thinking, what is he, like 19, 20 years old? I mean, really, this is like, these are kids who take tests, and they take a good test. That, you know, they test well. And so they get into these schools. I mean, who is supporting them? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the idea that they have an Ivy League education, that they have a phone, that they're posting this crap with their very definite opinions about who's right and wrong in this thing, when there is no right in this thing. Everybody's freaking wrong in this thing. It's not like our wars. Our wars were almost always wrong. That's just a gimme. I mean, you want to look at it. Vietnam, were we right? No. What the hell was that? What did the protests at the Democratic National Convention do? Caused us to lose. How much longer did that war go on? 7 years. Okay. Iraq, Republican president, right wing again. Was Iraq armed? Did they represent a threat to the United? No. 20 years later, we're finally out of there. 20 years later, our wars are usually wrong. In fact, you could go as far as to say most wars are wrong, because war as a way to settle differences, I don't think it's effective. And again, just like, the warmongers in this world have to learn, they have to learn that this never solves any problems at all, ever. And the same thing has to go for the people who protest in this manner. It doesn't help. It doesn't do what you want it to do, so stop doing it. You have to think. You have to actually be smarter than the people that are making the war. You have to be smarter than the people who are organizing against a political party, only to find out that that political party would have helped them. With just about everything in their lives that they give a damn about. It's endless. It's really endless. And, like I said, the uber left has been so... I don't know. They've gone so far to the left that they forgot what works and what doesn't work, and now they're on the right. Now they're literally on the right, just screaming for, spray painting monument. Screaming at Jews, screaming at Jewish students, setting one student upon another student. I don't know what they think they're going to get out of it, but it's the same people. It's the same people. They were there back then. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they were there back in the day when I was, still in D.C., okay? And I was trying to attend, like a fun evening. Because God knows, you spend your whole day doing, news and war and torture and Abu Ghraib and all. You need a moment. You need a moment to just decompress, to be human again, to laugh a little bit. Ease up. And you go to those events, and what do? They make you step over their bodies. Because they're always right, and you trying to decompress is always wrong. Always wrong. I'm so sick of it. I really am. I'm really tired of it, and I'm tired of listening to people who just want to listen to people who they like or makes them feel like their hands are clean in all this, and trash people who go, this doesn't work. This thing that you're doing, it's hurting people. It's hurting students. It's hurting people who didn't get to go to graduation in 2020 because we had an effed up president who screwed up COVID so bad that there was no graduation for high school students in 2020, and now they're graduating college and there is no graduation for them. And this time because of the uber left, who's gone so far to the left that they're on the right and they're screwing it up for everybody because they're always right. Oh, please give me a break here. If I thought protesting worked ever in my lifetime, even when I was, like a little kid, all the way to now, I'd be out there. I would be right there. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.